US President Joe Biden will host a first in-person summit of leaders of Quad countries. That's Australia, India, Japan and the US. This meeting will be next week. The summit of 4 leaders will be held at the White House on September 24th. That's what the White House press secretary, Jen Psaki, said in a statement. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Australian and Japan counterparts, Scott Morrison and Yoshihide Suga, are expected in the US next week to attend the United Nations General Assembly in New York. Now, a virtual meeting of leaders of the Quad countries, which have been seeking to enhance cooperation in the face of China's growing power and assertiveness, was held last in March. Well, let's go across to Vishnu Som for more on this. So, Vishnu, a very, very key meeting, and it's going to be in person in the White House, is what the US has announced. The last time the focus was on coronavirus, on vaccines, and on China.
So this is the first meeting, the first high-level meeting between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the US President Joseph Biden. It's going to be held in Washington. There's been this, over the last 1 week, there's been this urgent effort at trying to see whether this meeting of the Quad would actually take place. The concern was with the availability of the Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga, who is now available. He is on the last legs of his term, so there were question marks on whether he would make it. But he is there, which is why a full summit of the quadrilateral framework has been called. They'll be reviewing the progress made since the first virtual summit in March this year. They'll be looking at regional issues of shared interest. This is the formation which looks at a host of issues, but most significantly perhaps are mutual concerns over China and Chinese aggression, whether it's in the South China Sea, whether it's in the Indian Ocean region. But they do come together to deal also with critical and emerging technologies, connectivity infrastructure, cyber security, maritime security, perhaps the key issue over here. So the Prime Minister is going to be meeting the US President in Washington and the other leaders of the Quad, which includes leaders of Australia, Japan, India and the United States. He then travels to New York for the UN General Debate at the 76th session of the General Assembly. That will be on the 25th of September. The Quad meeting is on the 24th of September this month. The theme at the United Nations General Debate is building resilience through hope to recover from COVID-19, rebuild sustainability, respond to the needs of the planet, respect the rights of people, and revitalize the United Nations. So 2 huge international engagements for the Prime Minister, perhaps the most important of this year.
All right, Vishnu, thanks so much for joining us with those details.